How's how's everything been going over there, Derrick?
Hey man, it's good, man. It's it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds good. It's a good situation, but it's just tough. You know what I'm saying? Like you training at a high level all day long. So it's good though.
Yeah, you got quite a stable now, man. AJ, Ryan, Errol, Jermel, all
Right.
in big fights coming up. How hectic is your schedule?
And it's crazy. With Frank, I have like 3 fights in 27 days. You know what I mean? Like Frank fights on the what is it?
Next week?
July 15th. Errol fights July 29th. AJ fights August 12th. Jamel fights September 30th. And I think Ryan's gonna be fighting in October. So, busyness, man. Hey, it's busyness.
Yeah, I would imagine you got quite the schedule, but man, it must get you like so pumped up to know, like, yo, I got all these fights, and like they're big, significant fights also as well. You got, Spence and Crawford undisputed. You have Jermel undisputed versus undisputed.
Right.
AJ's on track to try to win the heavyweight title. I want to touch on Jermel first. Did this catch you by surprise? This whole him fighting Canelo?
No, I mean, he when they brought it to him, he called me and talked to me about it, and I told him how I felt about it, and then they pursued it. I guess yeah.
Did it happen like rather quickly, or like when did they like call you
I
about it?
a couple months, like 2, 3 months or so. It was like the process. You
Mm.
can't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a conversation. And then I told him what I felt about it, and then he kind of went forward with it, I guess.
What did you think about it? What did you tell him?
I think it's a good fight for him. I think that I believe he can do what he needs to do to be successful.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like a big plot twist, like because we all thought it was going to be Jamal fighting Canelo, and then when they announced Jermel, everybody's like, "What the heck? No way!"
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. Yeah. It's just like that's why you just gotta take your time before you announce something because people today want to be first, not right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this way you gotta it's like pump the brakes and like let the process play out.
Okay, so with that being said, then you guys had kind of already gotten a heads up, what, like a month ago, that it would be Jermel fighting Canelo?
I mean, it was just a conversation. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, a conversation and a process, So he and I had it and I told him how I felt about it and he said, okay. And then, I mean, I don't know how, I mean, it was like maybe like a month and a half, 2 months. I mean, I don't remember exactly how long ago it was. It was just a conversation. And then, that was kind of it. I told him how I felt about it, and then I didn't necessarily know that it was going to be a real deal. I just, but then say like some weeks later, a month later, he was like, "Hey, this is things happening and whatever." I said, "Okay." And it's kind of like I was like, "Okay, that's good." You know what I mean? And maybe like 3 weeks later, he was like, "We in whatever." Jamel kind of talked about we were in another phase of the process, and I was like, "Okay." But you still don't never know what's gonna happen, whatever. So yeah, but yeah, it's good, man. It's a good deal. I think it's a good deal. It's like he's moving up two-weight divisions. A lot of people generally move up. I mean, but Canelo was successful when he moved up, so it's no different than Jamel fighting somebody else moving up. It's a good deal for him.
Yeah, you touched on a big thing that a lot of people are talking about. How is that move up two divisions going to be for Jamel? Some people have said, "Hey, this could be a good thing for him because Jamel's a big 154 pounder. He could end up growing into the weight and actually being a lot stronger at 168 than he is at 154." You being his coach, what do you make of him moving two weight classes up?
I think it's. I mean, for him, what I mean, it's all about. I believe it's about speed and athleticism. So I don't think you should gain too much weight. I don't think you should come in at 168 for no reason at all. I mean, your abilities and your athleticism is what your advantage is. So I think that's the key element that you don't take away what your advantage is.
So no catch weight then. This fight is at a full 168.
Well, yeah, that's what he told me. I asked him the other day, and he told me like 2 days ago. Cause I was like, cause I don't really look at the internet. I didn't know if it was a catch weight or not. But then, he talked about it, and he said it's for 168. I said, okay.
Mm.
I don't
So
believe in, I don't believe in getting that heavy though.
I guess no more than 165, 164 for him.
No, well, I say like 63 or 64. That's what I believe.
Mm.
'Cause I want to be fast. I want to be athletic. I want to be mobile. I don't want to. The heavier you are, like it's like you might be a little bit more lethargic, slower.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be faster, a little bit more, athletic.
Do you feel being fast and athletic is something that gives Canelo problems overall?
Well, I'm just saying for fighting a guy who's a heavier guy, the advantage that Canelo's always had is that has been the smaller guy moving up. So the smaller guys are always faster than the heavier guys. No matter how good these guys are, he's always been faster than them. But now he's faced with fighting a guy who's smaller than he is. So hence Jamel will be a lot faster than him.
By chance, did you see Canelo's last fight? I know a lot of people have suggested that he's kind of like on the decline or has begun the decline, given how he looked in that performance.
No, I didn't see it. I really don't watch a lot of boxing, so I didn't see him fight, man. But I hear people talk about it, but I think that we want the best version of him. We don't really want that to be the second thing they say after, oh, you beat him, but he was declining. We want, he's still 33, I think, or 30 something. 30, Jamel's 33 also. But, it's like however you live your life at 33. I mean, the fights. And has a lot more fights because he fought a lot more fighters. And, he fought, the resumes, he doesn't have the Triple G resume. He has a Canelo resume. So he has good fighters on the resume. And, so does Jamel. But I think that we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
I like the fight.
Right.
It's like it's not like Canelo's fighting a chump. Like this is the undisputed champion at 154, and Jermel's been on a heck of a streak. I would imagine he is coming off of a layoff because of the hand injury. He did have that fight scheduled with Tim. Is he in fight shape, or the hand is okay? Like the layoff won't affect him at all in your eyes?
No, not at all, man. He'll be right. He'll be good. Everything plays out. I think that look at life, and it's like things happen for a reason. So this opportunity came up, a bigger, better fight than the Tim Tszyu fight, and it's like he's made history. So I mean, now it's time to reap the benefits of that. And there are no really benefits in fighting. I mean, financial benefits in fighting Tim Tszyu. You're gonna make the same fight, same amount of money. But you move up and fight Canelo, then it becomes a totally different situation. So I think that we made history. Now it's time to reap
Make
the
money.
benefits.
Now it's time to make that big bread.
I mean, it's like because we're in professional sports, and I always said the worst player on the worst team in the NFL is trying to renegotiate his contract. So it means it's all about the money. It's right. It's professional sports. So I mean, hey, listen. I mean, Canelo brings a lot of that. That's a good deal for him.
Well, regardless of the result, will he be allowed to keep his undisputed titles at 154? Will he stay at 154 after this fight?
I don't know anything about that. I haven't even went into detail to ask him about that. But I mean, I don't never think about the regardless part. I mean, I think about the victory. So I mean, maybe they let him do like Canelo, be a champ in 2 divisions.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Hey, it wouldn't be too bad, man. It wouldn't be too bad. Not
Man, yeah, I don't. Geez, if he were to make that accomplishment, oh my God, wow, that's a for sure Hall of Fame ticket. Seeing that you feel speed and athleticism could play a big part in this fight. Have you thought about how the fight plays out in your mind at all against what you've seen of Canelo so far overall?
I mean, I'm thinking about Terrence Crawford and Terrence and freaking the kid from Germany fighting Frank, and then Dillian White. I'm not thinking about that fight yet because it's like, you know, still a distance away, like a couple months away. I have
True.
like 3 fights in 27 days. So I'm still living in this 27-day situation. So
The grind is real.
right, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
So when will Jermel report for camp, or has he already started his camp for this fight?
I already started, you know what I mean, like in Houston or whatever, but it'd have to be after, like, after I come back from London.
Yeah, I know they're having a press conference in London on Monday, but you mentioned Crawford, man. I got to touch on it. Give me a status report. How's Errol looking in this camp, man? How is it?
He's looking good, man. His weight looks like it's down. He's ripped up, man. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Physically strong. He's good.
Is there a difference you've seen in this camp compared to the other ones?
You know what? I think that all of them are similar, right? But I think like there's a little bit more veracity in this. You know what I mean? Like a little bit more. You know, when we spawn the guys, it's like a little bit more ferociousness. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I think that he's really trying to, he wants to fight. He's kind of wanted for a while. So I think that you get what you want, you have to make the best of the opportunity.
How is a more ferocious Errol look like in camp? You being his trainer, like what I guess is that little difference?
I think a more ferocious arrow when like we work out, we hit the mitts or something. Have an ice pack on my shoulder. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's like but like we work today on the mitts and we work for like 25 minutes. Then he's like, give me 15 minutes more. So it's like so 25 minutes no break. So then he's like,
No
give me
break, it's nonstop on the mitts, 25 minutes.
then he says, give me another 15 minutes. So it's like get another 15, that's 40 minutes. So it's like I have to be in shape for that. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that's a lot of work, man.
Jeez, wow. A lot of people have said that they feel the difference maker in this fight is one who wants it more, and two who's just in the better condition, the better shape for this fight.
Yeah, I think both of them would be in great tip top condition. Crawford, he trains in Colorado, so the altitude always helps or whatever. I think it'd be good for both. I mean, Errol is training in 105-degree, 110-degree weather every day. So I think that they both. One of them kind of like helps you with your lungs and your breathing. Another one helps you with mentally pushing through that. I mean, so it's like it's two different situations, two different circumstances.
Is this the most tuned in, the most conditioned, the strongest and sharpest Errol you've seen so far?
I mean, I don't know because he's always tuned in and sharp. You know what I mean? Strong. I just think that this one, this one is the one well, initially when we started training, this is the one he said he wanted. Like he wanted to be undisputed champion. It wasn't. It's not about Terrence Crawford. It's about him getting one more belt. Just like Jamel, he said, "I want to be undisputed champion." So okay, let's go get it. And so it's very similar. Two guys who basically had their own personal dreams and aspirations. I'm just very fortunate enough that I could be a part of it and like help them get to where they need to be.
The sparrings, Derrick, how have those like gone? Can you let us in on a little bit of details of that?
It's just tough sparring. It's like these guys are tough, very, very. athletic, very mobile, very fast, quick, physically strong guys. I mean, so it's like, it's good. It's good sparring, man. Really good sparring. You guys are tough, So you really need that toughness to like push you to be sharp and to be better.
You know, crafting a plan for Crawford, I've always wondered, like, man, like how does one like even go about it because of his ability to switch stances? Has that been difficult to craft a plan because he switched stances?
No, I think you just watch him at his best, man. You just watch him do it at his best, and you just look at him and see how great he is, and kind of think about it. And I mean, you just kind of see how good he is, what he does, and the switching. You know what I mean? And you kind of just build from there.
Has this been like a, I don't know, have you ever prepared for a fighter like this, like a Crawford with that skill set in your personal career, in your career as a trainer? Like, have you ever encountered someone like that?
Kell Brook was a switcher. Kell Brook switched. One other guy. Oh yeah, it was Leonard Bundle switched up too. And so, we know how those ended. But yeah, they switched. Both of them. Kell Brook really switched like once, maybe twice, and he never did it again. Bundle didn't get the opportunity to, but he was a switcher. And then, so I mean, Crawford, I think he's a great fighter, man. I think he's very tough, and I think that he has a chip on his shoulder. You know what I mean? So that's the thing about it.
Do you guys feel
So
that he's gonna? I'm sorry about that, Derek. Go ahead.
I think he always feel like he has something to prove, which he doesn't, but I guess he does.
Mm. Do you guys feel that he's gonna fight one way or the other? Like if he's gonna stick with fighting southpaw the whole fight?
I think he may stick with what works with him the best, works for him the best. You know what I mean? Like if something's working, I think he'll stick with it. The smart person sticks with it. I mean, so I think that's what I would do. I mean, I would say, okay, if it's working, well, keep working on it, keep pushing it.
Mm. I'm so excited for this fight, Derek. Honestly, like I have so many scenarios going on in my head about like what happens, like how is Crawford going to respond if you know Arrow keeps his work rate up and cuts the ring off and it's just throwing. Like on the other hand, I think like well, Crawford's counter punching. Like you got to be careful about that. Like what do you think of
Well,
all that?
Arrow counter punches also, but Arrow counter punches sharper. So I think that I mean, it's gonna be a good fight. Man. I think Crawford's a great fighter. I think that he's a great fighter, and I think that you see him the way he fought Sean Porter. He fought him, and then he really he fought him, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, but then he kind of played it back to where he kind of slowed the pace down, slowed the tempo down to the way that he wanted to with his distance, and I think that's what you know. He's a good fighter. I mean, he's very calculated, and he's a great fighter. So you just got to kind of like prepare for all these different scenarios. So I prepare for scenarios. I prepare for situations. So it's not like this round I'm gonna do this round. No, we're gonna do everything in the round. We're gonna do whatever he does, offset whatever he does, whatever or do our best to do that. But I mean, he's a good fighter. I mean, you never really because it's all hypothetical because you don't know what he's really gonna do, and you do know that he's gonna fight you. And you do know that he's going to fight his fight or do his best to fight his fight. And I mean, you don't know how he's going to react to the pressure. I mean, you don't know because, I mean, none of the guys he ever fought punch as hard as Arrow. And they say that Crawford can punch. I mean, I think he does, but I mean, we never fought anybody punch as hard as Arrow. Got it breaks your face, breaks your ribs, breaks your, orbital bone. I mean, so that's something that's different, so we'll see.
Do you feel based on the way you've seen Errol train and what you just said right now that we see a stoppage in this fight?
I mean, I don't know that. I never say that. I never say that because I never know. Man, I never know how it's gonna go. I know that I think that our last fight probably was the toughest guy in boxing. Meaning that the man of all men in boxing, just to be able to take broken ribs, broken orbital bone, broken nose, and still be fighting. I think that that's a different kind of guy. I don't know if there's that many guys left like that in the world, especially in or in boxing. And so, I don't think he'll be the same fighter anymore. But
Oh, you don't think Terrence will be the same fighter after
no,
this?
I'm talking about Ugas. I'm
Oh,
talking about Ugas.
Ugas. Ah, okay.
But I think at the same time, I think that not a lot of people are tough. So we'll see if he is, tougher than that guy.
When talking to other trainers and other people, they mentioned about Crawford's IQ and his ability to kind of improv in the ring.
I mean, I don't know. I think that, like I said, I see what he does. I see his abilities. I see that, I see he's a good fighter. I see, I think that but I think that, you know, hey, he's been great. And because I'm not gonna go too far into what my beliefs are, but he's been great. I'm saying, like, I think that, you know, um, he's been good.
In your opinion, Derrick, what makes a difference in this fight? What separates Errol from Terrence in this?
I just think that it's so much about the development of Errol Spence. I always say that, it's development of Errol Spence. The tougher challenges, the fights that, it's been several fights, but we were supposed to lose. They thought we were gonna lose Kell Brook fight. People like, oh, Mikey was gonna beat us. You know what I mean? And somebody said they won't know what kind of fighter we really are until we fight Sean Porter. They even said Ugas, because Ugas beat Pacquiao. So it's like, you know, it's cool to be, like, it's okay to be, because everybody thinks you're the underdog, even now. But it's like, we've been the underdog, even though he's been breaking people faces and ribs and knocking them out, and he's still been an underdog. So it's like, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I think that being underdog, we don't have a problem with that, because everybody on this level, there's not a lot of people on this level. Crawford, some other fighters are. Everybody's been doubted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's cool. And even even the boxing people who say we're gonna lose, they've been doubted. So I would just like LL Cool J just said, man, I like both of them. I want to see a good fight. He answered it smart. Everybody else chose to say whatever they wanted to say, and it's cool. But you have to live with that.
You're gonna rub it in their faces if you guys win?
Nah, man, I'm a grown man. This is like this. This is like, you don't, because it's like this. Everybody knows what they said, and this not an if. I don't live my life on if. I couldn't make it this far in life, Marco. So be ifing, hoping. Hope is not a plan. So
I like
hope
that.
strategy. So it's like, nah, man. It's like, you can't make it so far in life and not still be hoping and wishing. You gotta have some definitive. Gotta have some definites. So I push all definiteness. So nah. When we win, nah, I'm not gonna say anything. I don't care. They didn't mean anything. They didn't mean anything to me before the fight. They don't mean less to me after the fight. It doesn't matter to me.
If Errol wins the fight and he becomes a undisputed champion, would this be the last fight at 147 pounds for you
Possibly,
guys? Yeah.
possibly. I don't know. It's up to him, but possibly. Yeah, I think so. I think I heard him say that.
What would happen then with Jermell being at 154? I would imagine Jermell would move up then, right?
Well, Jamel could fight 160.
Yeah.
But Jamel, he could, we talked about that a little bit, so, he could fight 160 or whatever, so we'll see.
Yeah, because I would imagine everyone would just move up a division because Maul's
Right.
already talking about moving up to, well, he was going to move up to 168 to fight Canelo. So I would think that that scenario kind of is convenient. Spence goes to 54, Mel goes to 60, Maul goes to 68. But if you have a winner in Mel, he might stay at 68. If he wins the undisputed title 168, is he staying at 168?
You keep on saying if, man. I might have stop.
Okay.
You're not you're not going to get me to even acknowledge your ifs.
No ifs, no more ifs.
Where I'm going to answer the question. Hey, man, look, think about this. When you started doing this, right, and you started with ifs. Do this if I get to, if I get, and when you get to this point, you're gonna do this and do that. You're not ifing now.
No, but you know what? Honestly, like I always saw this as I have to make this work because I have nothing else. And I literally had nothing else. Like I was
Okay.
like on unemployment and like was just doing odd jobs. And I didn't get paid for like the first 6 years of doing this, to be honest. You know, so like I had no, this was my only plan. So like I had to make this work.
Right. So it's like I said, but that was when you were ifing. You're not ifing today. You're definite. So I can't.
I
You
like
gotta
that.
you gotta keep you can't even if in your own life. So you don't if in mine, and don't if me. I'm a winner. When I'm a winner, and I mean, and I'm not saying I'm a winner. I said I'm the guy that says when we do this, when I do this, I mean, come on, man. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying
yeah.
you have to be positive because, like, you see, I'm all about the kids, right? So I can't be lying to them if I'm kind of skeptical about my own situation. I have to, you know, I have to be positive
Mm.
and believe.
Lee, that's very, very true, man. If you don't believe, you won't achieve.
That's right.
That's very, very true. I want to touch on AJ. How's he doing? How's he adjusting to camp with Errol, with Ryan? I would imagine this is all new for him, right?
Yeah, man, because he's always been the center of attention, but he has, some stable mates and they're very supportive, and he's adjusting to the heat very well.
Does he like it, or he's kind of like, oh my god, how do you guys train in this heat?
He just keeps, he knows that when he fights on the 12th, it's not going to be anything like that, in London. So it'd be an air conditioned arena, so it'd be kind of like plush, I mean, like kind of plush and kind of it'd
Easy
be good,
breezy.
easy breezy. Yeah, but Dylan might come to fight, but it'll be the atmosphere and the climate won't be one of the detriments to him that holds him down.
Yeah, this will be your second camp with them. Like, how are things? How's the flow between you guys working in this second camp now?
I mean, it's good, man. I mean, even in the first one, it was good. Because everything's about the conversations that we have. We talk and have conversations like men talking, and the older guy. I'm like a senior official, So he's 33, so I'm 51. So it's like, and we talk. I mean, we talk and we have good conversations. Yeah.
How does I guess how is the experience of training Anthony Joshua for you? And was there any adjustments you needed to make? Any training adjustments that you needed to make in your training style to train him?
Nah, man, it's like I wanted to enhance a lot of stuff with him, what I mean, and bring him up to like really I want him to be a big guy with little guy boxing skills.
Mm.
I think that's the key. That's the key. It's like to enhance the skill set, enhances boxing IQ, enhances reaction time, his timing. And so you want him to be a big guy with little guy boxing skills. So that's very difficult to deal with. So he's very fast, he's very athletic, he can move his feet. He's very fast. Very fast feet, very fast hands, so it's like that. And yeah.
Uh, has he picked up any tips from Errol, from Jermel?
I mean,
How are their interactions been like?
they kind of watch. I mean, they watch each other. They watch each other. And Errol is like, you'll see, like he posted a video where Errol's watched them spar. Frank, they watched them spar. So they watch them work out or whatever. So, and they come in like on Saturday morning. They'll kind of work out together. So yeah.
Yeah, that's I think that's good for any fighter um, to be able to be with other high level
But
pros. And man,
I,
you got monsters in your camp now, man. With Ryan coming into the fold, how did that happen, Derrick?
hey man, he just texted me one night, and and we had a conversation, and he was like, "Let's go to dinner." I said, "Nope, I'm cooking. I'm give it you, some other time." She was like, "You in Dallas?" He's like, "Yes, sir. Yeah, I can't do it, but I can get with you tomorrow." That's kind of how it happened, and we talked. I mean, everything is with a conversation, understanding, right? And so then with the understanding of the conversation, we just kind of build from there.
Did he tell you he wasn't happy with how he was training before? Did he feel like he was lacking something? Like, what was his like main pull to want to go to you?
Well, I don't really get into conversation about what he used to do. Because who he was before. Here, it's somebody out of me, that person is like not even the same person. I want him to build and grow in a different direction. So, I mean, he was who he was before, and he's still that same guy. But from a boxing skill set, I mean, I want to build him up and be a better fighter, a better boxer.
So how are you attacking that? What's the plan for molding Ryan into what your vision is for him?
Hey man, it's like he's good. He's growing. He's understanding it, and it's like just taking him. He's here. I mean, he's here by himself. Like he and his guy, and that's about it. It's working. It's working, man. It's good. The heat is on his back. I mean, he's like, man, he's on his back. So it's good, man. It's good. We just had dinner. He just left my house.
Oh, no way.
Just left my house. Yeah, we had dinner tonight. So.
Oh, cool. Did you cook? Did you cook dinner
Not,
for him?
no, 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 no.
No, no,
I'm in the gym all day, man. I had to go some pickup.
no.
What up? I mean, yeah.
Is there one thing in particular that you feel that you really want to improve on, Ryan?
There he is, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. You'll see it in the fight.
Yeah,
Right.
October, right? That's the because he put
I
on
mean,
his IG October.
yeah, probably October, yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him. He tweeted out to Regis. It seems like he wants that fight. You spoke to our Yair Martinez about fighting Rolly. That's a potential fight.
So
Which one?
I did.
Yeah, yeah. I think you spoke to Yair. He mentioned Rolly fight. And you're like, hey, that's a good fight.
Brody was just talking about me or whatever. He made an asinine statement about saying I couldn't train a Mexican fighter. Like that's some dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like, what does that have to do? What is your race or ethnicity? And what does that have to do with boxing? Like, you can't train them. What are you talking about, man? So yeah, but nah, man. Other than that, nah.
Well, Rolly, I think he trolls a lot. He just says things to get a reaction.
I mean, I think he looked serious when he said it. I mean, he
I
can't.
haven't seen. To be honest, I haven't seen the interview. That's the first I heard of. But if he is serious, yeah, he's totally in the wrong.
He's Mexican. All right, what do I got to do? So you say Derrick James can't train a Mexican fighter? He's like, he can't train him. He left Canelo. He's with Canelo, the best trainer in the world. Okay, well, hey man, whatever you say, man. Well, all things do change.
Mm. Do we see that fight with Rolly next?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not involved in that part of it. I'm just saying. I'm just the guy who prepares the fighters for the fights. I'm not necessarily in that part of the boxing.
I know you're you're a pro through and through, Derrick. Oscar has said that feels that Ryan needs someone that's really like on him, that's telling him exactly what to do, kind of like an authority figure of like, yo, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. Do you get the sense from training Ryan that he needs someone like that, or is he pretty disciplined, pretty like, no, you tell him what time to shows up, and he shows up and he does the
It
work?
shows me. I mean, I don't. I mean, like, I think that what's funny about it, even like heard AJ was lazy or didn't want to work. I heard you hear all these stories about these different people, but that's never my experience with them. So yeah, I don't. That's why I can't really take somebody else's word on somebody else because your experience may not be my experience. I think that we're two different people, two different situations. So I think that's the thing about it is that you know if you present yourself in a particular way, then you may be handled accordingly. But I mean, I'm not, in my spot, it's not like that. And I understand building also. I mean, I'm not going to bring him in there, try to kill him in the first week, 2 weeks, and because we even talked yesterday about sparring. I was like, nah, man, you don't have to worry about that. We're not thinking about that. No, we're building together and bonding together. So it may be a month or so, 2 months before we even think about sparring. I don't care about that.
Mm. What do you think about Ryan, like as a person, like from the time that you spent with him? Like, what's your impressions now of him?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good kid, man. I mean, he's a 24-year-old young man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's very intelligent, and he knows who he is. You know what I mean? He knows his strengths. I mean, I think that most people in today's world don't really know who they are, but he's a young guy that does know who he is, and he's a worker. You know what I mean? Like he comes to the gym, and, he's very responsible because he's in Dallas. Like he moved, he's doing it. Not like somebody else is here with him. It's him, and he has another one person with him. But other than that, nah, it's just him.
What are your expectations for him? You feel like in a year from now he's champion at 140? Do you feel with you he's going to be able to be like multiple weight world champion? Like, what's your vision for Ryan and the work that you're doing with him?
You know, I don't necessarily get into that. I think that I want you to be who you want to be. So my goal is to help you become the individual that you want to be. You tell me that, and we're gonna work towards that. Jamel said he wanted to be undisputed. We work towards that. Errol said he wanted to be undisputed. We're working towards that. And AJ said he wanted to be a champ again. We're working towards that. Frank wants to be a champ. We're working towards so these. I don't say, well, I want you to do this because I don't know if that's what you really want to do. I can't want something that you don't really want for yourself. So I generally just basically kind of like just prepare. Let's fight. Okay, let's go. And I just work with them on the skill set and just develop that. I don't really care. I'm not the guy to choose the opponents or choose their dreams and aspirations.
Has he told you his goals?
I mean, he wants. Yeah, we talked about him, but that's personal. He told me what he wanted.
I would imagine world champion. That's what he wants. He wants to be a champion at 140 pounds. So you guys are working towards that.
Yeah, I think that. I think it's deeper than that. But yeah, he wants to be champ. Yeah.
Mm. Well, good stuff, man. Hey, Derrick, I know you've had a long day. You got to go to sleep
Yeah.
in a little bit too. It's late, so I appreciate the time. I appreciate you staying up. Just one last report on Errol. What's left to do in this camp?
Hey, it's just all about just keeping it tight and keeping the focus and keeping him just constantly growing. I mean, it's like the thing about fighting fighters and boxing matches and having guys is that each day in an opponent, you can see something different. So you have to be very versatile and not locked into something in particular until even the day of, you say, damn, I didn't see that. And, okay, let's do this. But you have to be able to work with so many different scenarios and situations that you just put this in there, put that in there, fill this up. So you kind of like, so let's do this when he does this, gonna do this one, does this, gonna do that. So it's like, hey man, he's looking good and
I
strong.
can't wait. I can't
Very,
wait. Strong, very strong.
and I know Crawford's strong. I mean, nobody's saying he isn't. I mean, I'm never gonna be the guy that said, oh man, he's not strong. He's not. He knocked out the people that he was fighting against. You know what I mean? He had to be. They didn't take a dive. He really beat him. So I think that's real.
I'll end it on this. The night of the fight, July 29th. What do you
Yeah.
think will be the story of the fight? What do you think when it's all said and done? is going to be like people are going to be saying, "Wow," talking about?
I think it's gonna be more like Hagler and Hearns than anything else.
You think they're going to go at it right away?
I think that they may try. I mean, I think that it could be 12. I'm gonna say it like this: if it's a 12-round fight, it could be like 9 rounds like that.
Jeez, wow.
After the filling out process, or whatever,
Hmm.
I think that it has the possibility to, you know, be that type of fight. I mean, I think that, but I think at the same time, I think that Crawford's gonna try to box him. And you gotta, you know, if you let, I always say, and this is what I say about anything in life. If you let an individual be themselves, they'll be phenomenal. If you let them be who they really are, they'll be phenomenal. So you have to do your best to disrupt them and throw them off, and not let them be themselves. Because if you let them sit back and just watch you and pick you off, it's gonna be phenomenal. So you have to find a way to not let them be the individual, the great individual that they are. And that's with everything in life.
So for
Football,
so
whatever.
based on that, for Errol to be Errol, Errol's going to come right at him and just put the pressure on and have him feel that.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying is that even for Crawford has a way to not let Errol be himself. You know what I'm saying? And we have to find a way to not let Crawford be as great as he really is. I mean, so it's like it could be a back and forth. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
It could be
god. If
a
it's
situation.
9 rounds of back and forth, holy crap, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can be. I mean, I think that, but if it's 9 rounds of back and forth, it won't go it won't go the distance because the arrow punches really hard.
Mm.
Crawford can punch hard, but I think he hadn't fought anybody who punches hard as Arrow. That's the difference. We probably fought somebody that punches hard as he has.
I think we're gonna see something very special from both of them.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's what I'm saying. I think that it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be like, listen, it's gonna be. This is a heck of a year of boxing. I mean, so it's gonna be amazing. I mean, with Benavidez fight, Caleb Plant fight, and and
Ryan
then
and Tank,
Ryan and Tank, and then
this
Arrow
one,
and Jamel.
Haney and Lomachenko.
Well, that was a good fight, but it was like controversial. So
Yeah, it
like that.
was.
I mean, in people's perspective, it doesn't count because it was controversial. But had it not been any, I don't know how it could be or whatever because I really didn't watch the fight. I wanted to watch it, but I was out of my daughter's birthday party, so But yeah, but I think all these other fights, yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. Good year boxing.
Heck of a year for you. Imagine if you get wins in all those fights. You get an undisputed at 147, an undisputed at 168. You get AJ to the title. You get Ryan to the title. What a year for you if you're able
You
to do that.
you said you said
Oh,
it twice.
if.
If
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
if you do, hey, listen, you cannot think about it. You can't dwell on this situation, and if if I do this, I mean, like, you have to be like, okay, when, because how do you make it somewhere if you tiptoeing?
Mm.
I want to step here because you may make, no, you gotta step like you're supposed to be here. You know what I mean? Like, and you have to know it. So it's like, it's okay. But it's okay. I'm gonna keep working with you. So if you want to keep ifing in your life, don't put it in my life.
Okay.
It's not a plan. It's not a strategy.
would
I
you would you retire from boxing because that's a heck
yeah,
of a way to leave?
but not this year. But maybe in like the next, 2 or 3 years, not 3, 4, whatever. Whenever Ryan, Frank them do whatever because they're the young ones. I'm out. See, this is my nonprofit. Working with the kids in the community. That's really where I'm phasing to. Like, it's easy. I already got a nonprofit thing going, working with the kids, the Boys and Girls Club, and the kids in my community. So that's really what it's all about. But boxing gives me it gives me the let me see, it kind of makes it more legitimate, right?
Mm.
And then really what I'm really doing is working with the kids, so it's kind of cool, you know. But yeah, so I'm phasing on the way.
Okay, so first I apologize because I said we were going to end it, but now that you said that, it popped in my mind. How much longer do you want to be a trainer then, Derrick? If you're saying you're already starting to transition to that, like, do you have a number in mind?
But like, man, maybe Ryan and whenever however much longer they fight.
Hmm.
I mean,
So you want to keep your guys when they finish their careers. That's when you were probably like, maybe it's the right time. Did I say it again? Did I say it?
be wait. I didn't hear you. I'm just saying I'm gonna be waving
Oh, you're gonna be waving. Okay.
when they're like, okay, we're going, okay, bye. I'm ready to go too.
I'm ready to go too. It's like let's go together. We out. We out.
It's so everything like it's so hard to be so consistent for so many years. You know, like about with Arrow, Jamel, for the last 4 years to have the only trainer in the world with two unified champs, and then Jamel becomes undisputed. So it's like it's difficult. It's tough to be so consistent. Then bring in AJ, and then have Frank come in. Frank, then AJ, then Ryan. Yeah, it's very difficult to continue to be so consistent. You know what I mean? That's not a reason to get out, but I think that it's just like you phase out of what you do because you do what you really want to do. It's like you get to the point where you do what you really want to do. You do what what you feel like not kids to make a difference with the kids in the community. So boxing is just something that gives me more visibility to get more people involved with what I'm doing on the nonprofit, with the kids. But yeah, man, hey man, you get in, you get out, and I'm going to put it like this. I'm not going to be known for boxing in the next 5, 6, 7 years. I'll be like, you look like that guy that used to be. No, not me.
That's not me. Who are you talking about? I don't know
Don't
who you're
be
talking
the
about.
kids in the Boys and Girls Club.
Man,
Yeah,
that's great, Derrick. That's really awesome, man. Because a lot of people have a hard time leaving the sport.
they fall in love with celebrity. They fall in love with the limelight. They fall in love with the idea. Like I was telling AJ today, I said that being great, you have to fall in love with the work, not the idea, right? Not the idea of being great. You have to fall in love with the work to become great.
Hmm.
So, it's like you have to fall in love with the idea of helping and giving back and doing this and doing that. Not necessarily, like social media or whatever, like it's like the hype of that. Nah, I'm in the hood, man. I'm really in the streets for real with the kids and stuff. So yeah.
That's great work. Your foundation, Derrick James Family Foundation. I'll find a link and I'll put it in the description when I release this interview. Derrick, man, as always, I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me time. Thank you so much. Get
Thank
some
you.
rest. I know you're a busy dude, man. Get some sleep. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Man, big ups to Derrick James. Busy guy right now. Like he mentioned, man, he has Spence Crawford. He has Frank Martin, who is coming on next. Who else? Jermell, but that's a little later down on the line in September 30th in Las Vegas. But training Jermell for Charlo. Joshua, he got Spence, Martin, Joshua. Those three guys back to back to back, man. I would imagine his schedule is crazy right now. As you can see, he's tired, man. He's been grinding. But with that being said, man, this weekend we're going to see the return of a guy I feel is going to be a future world champion. On July 15th in Las Vegas, Frank Martin returns. He will be on Showtime, and he's joining us next with our man Marcus Hayes, who conducted this interview with Frank. So let's go ahead and roll the tape.
Let's just jump right into it. Let's jump right into it, man. Our team, Haryutin, July 15, Cosmopolitan, Las Vegas, Nevada. Tell us about the bout, man. The guy's a bronze